to be a multi-level mom. That mom who is able to harmonize and balance their life without the burnout, without the mom guilt, without trying to figure out what they should actually give up. Good day, everyone. Good day, and welcome back to the Mompreneur Podcast. I am Christine M. Psalms, the Mompreneur Coach. I'm a wife, a mom, dance studio owner, caregiver to my father, as well as everything in between. And I am figuring out and helping those along the way how to harmonize and balance their life just like I do. I'm excited today because I do have a special guest. We're going to talk today about I am built for this. And I've talked about this before, but I want to talk to moms, especially my moms of toddlers and newborns, because oftentimes we don't think we're built for this. Yes, we want to get married and have this big fairy tale wedding, and then we want to have all these children around us. And of course, me either working a 9 to 5 or being a stay-at-home mom, or even running your own business, or maybe all of the above. And you're like, am I really built for this? We start questioning ourselves. But I have a special guest today. Her name is Desiree Searcy. Let's welcome Desiree in the room this morning, today, depending on what time you're watching it. How are you today, Desiree?
Thanks for having me. Well, doing good. It's a good day.
Good, good. I'm glad it's a good day today. Well, let me give an introduction about Desiree. Desiree, we attend the same church, an amazing church in Marlboro, Maryland, High Calling Ministries, where Bishop George Hawkins is our pastor. Check us out online or in person. Definitely going to give that plug. But that's how we met. But Desiree is a stay-at-home mom. She has a beautiful toddler little girl, as well as a newborn. Well, he's about 4 months now, and her husband have been married for a few years, and she's going to talk about that as well. But I am happy to have you here, Desiree. We're going to talk about all things mommy stuff. And
Sure.
how do you navigate that? So I want you to share a little bit about your journey, about your motherhood journey. Let us know how old your toddler is, and like I said, your newborn is 4 months. But what does that look like for you as a mother of two children now, as a wife, as well as a stay-at-home mom? What does that look like for you?
Yeah. So, great question. My daughter is 2 years old. She turned two the day after Christmas, and her brother, like you said, 4 months. So he'll be 4 months at the end of this week. But how this looks for me, me and my husband have been married for 4 years, but we knew each other. We met in college. We knew each other then. Um, Graduated college, just a quick little, recap. Graduated
Yeah.
college, moved out, um, got engaged, got married, the whole nine. So his career started to jump off before mine did. He is in the IT field, so we've been moving different metropolitan cities and metropolitan. So we were in Phoenix, Los Angeles, and then now he's in DC, and so that's why we're here. Um, but yeah, I did not plan to be a stay-at-home mom. I had aspirations and dreams myself. My plan was to go to medical school. I applied, um, took the MCAT, all the things, and
Wow.
I wanted to start a family. And I knew that that was what I wanted to do early on. And the field of medicine would have required me to do that.
Sure.
So I decided to stay at home. Yeah. I was working a 9 to 5, but once I had my daughter, and then once I came back from maternity leave, I was like, and it was working from home, but I
Mhm.
was on the phones talking to patients, and it just wouldn't work out. She'd be in the back crying and all those things, and so my husband was like, well, you know what? You can just focus on her if you want. Like, I'll pick up the extra slack. And since we were moving, we didn't really have a stable babysitter at the time,
Mhm.
and cost of childcare is expensive. It's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
we were like, okay, well, I'll stay at home, and your career's taking off right now, so we won't be struggling. But it was a new space for me. So I'm a very type A person. I was going to medical school. That was the plan.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
take a pause and let my husband kind of do his thing, it was an adjustment.
Yes. Yes. It's definitely. I can hear it. It's definitely an adjustment. It's something that doesn't happen, you just flip a switch and like, oh, now I'm staying home mom and I'm loving it because you had those aspirations. And
Right.
I do find that when we have those aspirations and we kind of put them on pause to focus in another area of our life, doesn't mean that it's not going to come to fruition. And
Mm.
whether that means that you are going to live out that dream in a different way, an unexpected way. And I'll just give you an example. When I graduated from high school, you know how you write in those your yearbooks what you're going to be, and my goal was actually to be an international corporate lawyer. That's what I was going to do.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I had huge
wow.
aspirations, right? International corporate lawyer. I was going to have two kids at the same time. I was going to have twins. I was going to
Oh,
live in this loft in New York, right? This is like 17-year-old, right? So live in this loft in New York and have these, have a nanny and do my thing, right?
right.
Until God said, no, I'm taking you in a totally different direction. No, I am not a lawyer. No, I did not go to law school. I do have my master's in dance as well as biblical studies. But God led me in a different path that I do advocate for women.
Mm.
I do advocate for moms and entrepreneurs and things like that to make sure that we stay in front of people's faces and in their minds. So, say this to encourage you, like, hey,
Thank you.
those aspirations they always show up in a different way that we least. And so, yeah, I just wanted to kind of encourage you there because that's what it. Because sometimes we think that as moms we are giving up something, just putting them on pause until that time shows up where we can figure, okay, well, Lord, that's really what you meant by that. Oh, okay, I see now. I see now. I can debate with the best of them. I was
Good
in the
grace.
debate club, right? You know what I mean? So being in that healthcare field, whatever that industry for part of that healthcare field that you want to go into, it's going to show up. It's going to show up in some way,
Mhm.
somehow. So, how do you harmonize? People use the word balance, and I think I sent you some interview questions to put that in there. But how do you harmonize having time for yourself, time
Mhm.
for your husband, and time for your children? How does that work together for you? Or even if it hasn't, to say, you know what, Christina, I'm still trying to figure that out. But how is that working for you so far?
Is working. I am still figuring it all of the above.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I am still figuring it out. In my mind, I love to schedule things. And so as I came into this motherhood season, I've noticed that my schedule means nothing to my children. So I am on their schedule. When they eat, when they sleep, um, when they're ready to play, I might have, so for instance, like I might have an idea like, okay, I'm about to get out of the house, get ready to go to church. And my 2-year-old might have a blowout. And so now I'm late, right?
Mhm.
So I've just came to the place where I have to adapt to their schedule.
Yeah.
Granted, I have an idea in mind as a mom, right?
Sure.
But if things, I give space to, or I give grace, right? So that
Mhm.
I don't feel so bogged down if this happens or if that happens. And a lot of people understand. And I feel like communicating that with people like, hey, this happened, but I'm on my way, or hey, this happened.
Yeah.
Uh, they kind of understand because I do have toddlers. So I think that give the grace. But in order, I think the other part of your question was balancing like me time and time with my husband. That is definitely a challenge. That's a place where we are still growing in because right now it's all about the kids. The
Hmm.
mommy guilt is real. I feel like if
Hmm.
I don't spend enough time or if I'm on my phone or if I'm doing ministry work, then my daughter is gonna like, oh, mom's not playing with me. When
Yeah.
after she, goes to sleep, wakes up, she doesn't even remember anything that I was doing. So,
Right. Right. Right.
but it is tough. It is challenging. I'm trying to at least give myself an hour of the
Hmm.
day. Um, and when you sent me those questions, I had to really think. I'm like, am I doing this now? Like, I'm not even doing this now. Like, how am I going to start to talk about it? So it's a work in progress, but I am putting in those efforts
Yeah,
now.
that's good. That's good. Thank you for your transparency. Some people could have come on here and said, you know what, I got it all together. In the meantime,